The definition of cheating is an act of dishonesty in order to gain an advantage. Whatever we figure out, you guys are here to ride along and see it all happen, but let's do it. We're just diving down into a free-for-all, which is basically cheating.
So we got a big grouper inside of one of these coral heads over here.
Why would anyone spend all day sitting in a boat anyway?
Look at that hammerhead!
Oh my God.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So we are currently in the car headed down south. You know, Clay and I, we love to sneak a little further south every chance that we get, especially when the day is as beautiful as today. We're pulling the Pathfinder behind us, and Clay will be
doing some spearfishing.
That's right.
It's a beautiful day, awesome conditions for the month of May. Water should be nice and warm, so Lower Keys is definitely a treat.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to be back down here, just showing you guys around and, you know, ultimately just showing you everything that the Lower Keys has to offer on a boat. So we're gonna get some gas, drop the Pathfinder in the water, and we're gonna get after it. All right, first stop of the day here at the gas station. Right here, we have the Travis Matthew Ridge wallet. You can go to ridge.com/bow and you'll get up to 40% off. Father's Day is right around the corner. We know how hard it is to find a gift for Dad. But yeah, the Ridge wallet, it's really small, really compact, and at the same exact time, it'll still hold up to 12 cards, and you still have some room for cash right here. But basically, if you guys are interested in this, you can go to ridge.com/bow and you'll get up to 40% off one of these guys. But we're gonna fuel up here. After we fuel up, we're headed to the boat ramp and it's off to do some spearfishing. Woo! We made it, baby. Gotta love the Ameritrail too. Makes it feel like there's nothing even there, but we've talked about this in the past, but these straps are just so awesome. You just press this little button and then they retract. And you know, this boat ramp is a little different than our hometown boat ramp, and that's something we always talk about. Every boat ramp is different. So what I'm gonna try to do is back up, find that perfect sweet spot in order to power this boat off of this trailer. It's a power on, power off trailer, so you'll see here in a second what we're talking about. All right, see if you could power off. Oh wow, look at that. Good down?
Yeah.
Good job getting it off the trailer.
You're welcome.
So proud of you.
Yeah, I've gotten so good. To be honest, like I remember being so intimidated with pulling the boat, backing it in, driving the boat, and it's in a matter of 4 years, I feel like I've
come a long way.
Come a very long way, even with fishing.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, all it takes is a little bit of practice, and guys, all it takes is a little bit of patience. But
that's right. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing. I think if you weren't patient with me, I wouldn't be able to learn.
That's right. So keep that in mind. But we're gonna hop over to the ocean side. Right now we're on the Gulf side. Big Pine is kind of like a unknown territory for Stephanie and I. So we're learning right here with you guys. So whatever we figure out, you guys are here to ride along and see it all happen. But we're pumped. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. what looks like some good bottom. The viz is absolutely amazing today. That's one of the biggest things when you're spearfishing is visibility. And we're in about 20 feet right now, and I can see straight down to the bottom. So that's always a good thing. Sometimes you get out here and you can't even see 5 feet, but what we're gonna do, pull out our dive flag, make sure that's up. Got some long free diving fins. These are really important. The longer the fin, the easier it is for you to dive down. So that's why we have such long free diving fins. And here's another big tip too. Whenever you're buying a mask, make sure when you go to the store, you try on different masks because not all masks fit everybody's face the same. So that's a big thing. You know, trying on a mask is just like trying on clothes. You got to make sure it fits right. Now, as awesome as this is, it's a double-edged sword because I'm trying my hardest to stay calm to conserve oxygen for a successful dive, but I'm just so excited to be back in the water. And as you can see, we have absolutely no fishing gear. We're just diving down into a free-for-all, which is basically cheating. So why would anyone spend all day sitting in a boat waiting for a fish to bite anyway? But let's go ahead and get back to the mission, which is to acquire enough meat for dinner for all of us at Kiki Sandbar tonight. And here we have our first fish, which is a lionfish. And these are some of the easiest fish to shoot, which is a perfect warm-up for whatever we may come across later. And boom, it doesn't get any easier than that.
You're the lionfish slayer. There's a nicer one.
At least I can shoot something, right?
Yeah.
So the bottom here is perfect. You know, there's a lot of structure, some fans. It's exactly what you want to see, right? But the biggest thing is I'm not really able to find anything other than lionfish. We saw like a little tiny black grouper at one point. Just so pretty. And when the water temperatures are high, surface temperatures are high, I mean, you can't beat this diving. Decided to make a little move here and trying to just really find some good bottom. We're just paying attention to the sonar here and we found some really nice live bottom. So what we did is we tapped on that and then we created a mark on the GPS screen. So we're gonna drop the trolling motor and get right back up on top of it. And we're gonna see if we can find something rather than a lionfish. Now this next spot has a lot of life and I'm pretty confident I'm gonna shoot something because everywhere I look there's a snapper. And like I said, spearfishing is easy, right? First I see a hogfish, but he's undersized. Then I see a massive Goliath grouper, but he's protected, so I can't shoot him. But now I'm running out of air, so it's back up to the top, and man, I'm starting to feel kind of tired. After I catch my breath, it's back down to the bottom, and I can't even get near a fish. The more I go back and forth from the surface back down to the bottom, it seems as if more fish just disappear. Isn't this supposed to be cheating? Shouldn't I just be able to swim down and shoot something? But whatever, because right there is a mangrove snapper. Only thing is, he sees me. I know if I'm gonna be able to shoot him, I really have to be able to hold my breath, stay steady, line up a shot, and pull the trigger quick. Well, easier said than done. Like all good things, it definitely takes some trial and error, so I'm not giving up on this spot just yet. I'm taking another dive to check under this ledge in hopes of finding a fish that may be hiding from me. And right here is a decent sized snapper, almost frozen since he knows he's prey. Just like that, another grocery added to the cart, but talk about a whole lot of work for just 2 fish.
Pretty sweet. There's a nice little ledge down there. Poked my head inside. Saw this guy. This is actually a dog snapper. Looks a lot like a mangrove snapper. Also looks a lot like a school master snapper as well, but just a different type of species. But they eat all just the same. She's gonna be good.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
This time around, I'm pretty beat and I've been diving all day, swimming against current, and my physical fitness is really being tested. So I'm just gonna let the current carry me along, and who knows, maybe I'll see something cool. When scanning the bottom, it seems vacant. I'm tired and I've kind of lost interest in diving and scanning the bottom until this guy shows up. That right there is a big black grouper. And funny enough, I've caught plenty of them on rod and reel, but I've never speared one, because as soon as they see you, they're gone, just like that. At this point, my adrenaline is pumping, and I'm hopeful that if I check every crack and crevice in the direction that this fish swam, just maybe I'll get lucky and I'll find him. But as I continue to dive, I'm just burning up more and more energy. I know if I'm gonna find this fish, I have to relax, gotta move slower, and replenish my body with oxygen. After many unsuccessful dives, it's pretty much hopeless, and this is much harder than I think anyone could ever imagine. But just when I was about to call it a day, guess what? That's the tail of a big black grouper.
So we got a big grouper inside of one of these coral heads over here. I can't tell if it's a red or a black, but he's pretty decent size. I mean, definitely big enough to be legal.
Now this is by far one of the most difficult ways I've ever tried to harvest a black grouper. Sure, it may look easy, but it takes years of experience, hours of searching, and seconds to make an execution to even get to this point. And here I am, hopefully about to shoot my first black grouper. I take my time to line up my shot because I know if I miss, he's more than likely gonna shoot out of this hole and he's gone. So finally I feel confident to the point where I feel like I have a good shot on this fish. I give it my best, pull the trigger, and I'm not sure if he's attached, but I'm out of air, so I have to go back to the top. After a couple more dives, I realized that I had a pretty decent shot on the fish, so he is attached to the spear. But I spent probably about 30 minutes carefully trying to work this fish out of this hole, but he was completely locked up, and I didn't want to pull too hard because I was afraid the spear may detach. Finally, I was so tired, and I just said, screw it. I'm going all in, and I'm gonna try to pull this fish out with everything I got, and look at that. That is a massive black grouper, and I couldn't be more excited and tired at the same time.
Look at that! That's my first ever black. The only way I can shoot him is by getting a shot on him in the back, so that's exactly what I did. Then I just grabbed the shaft at both ends and just pulled him right out. But as you can see, he's all beat up, man. He was trying so hard to get up the side of that rock, but all I can say is after shooting one of these things, what more do you want? Can't give it up either.
After 7 hours of diving with only one trophy fish to show for, how could one call this cheating? Now, I'll admit, there's certain locations filled with certain species of fish that are so easy to shoot that, sure, you could call it cheating, but then there's species that can be caught just as easy, if not easier, on rod and reel, so it's all situational. The definition of cheating is an act of dishonesty in order to gain an advantage. So let's put this into perspective that actually matters. If I told you I needed to fill everyone's freezer with fish, I'd be lying. Therefore, I'd be cheating myself and future generations out of a potential opportunity to do exactly what I'm doing here. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how you harvest a fish. It's how many fish you harvest.
Let's see.
That's a lot of work, man. I mean, you know, when I first started fishing hardcore, and I used to look at people that would spearfish, I always used to say, oh man, like, you know, that's cheating. And that's not real fishing, but one thing I can say is it is much harder to spear one of these fish than it is to catch them on rod and reel. That's something you won't know until you've actually grinded it out. You've gotten in the water and you've seen as many of these as I've seen. And I finally shot one. So cool. So one of the best parts about our shirts is they're moisture wicking, so they're stain resistant. UPF 50 plus, mesh in all the areas prone to sweat. A little bit of spandex so you got some stretch in it so you can perform. Like I said, the best part is all these stains are gonna come right out.
Look at that hammerhead!
Oh my God.
Yeah, oh, are you kidding me?
He's looking for that grouper.
Oh, and yeah, add in sharks with the difficulty of spearfishing. But moral of the story is enjoy life's challenges and have fun overcoming them. Admire the process, and most importantly, always protect what God has given us. Know when to stop. Don't be greedy. Relax and enjoy it. Everything out here is natural, from the mangroves to the sand to these channels. I mean, nothing out here is man-made, which I think is just so fascinating. And there's so much more going on right now rather than what you see or what you may think, right? You know, you have all this current that's flushing from the Gulf of Mexico all the way out to the Atlantic. The seagrass, it serves as refuge for shrimp, crabs, all kinds of other little fish that eventually all the juvenile species gorge on and eventually get bigger, and then they move out to the Atlantic side. And that's exactly what happened in order for us to harvest that grouper. It's just amazing, the life cycles and the ecosystems and all the things that the Florida Keys has to offer. But I think from here we're gonna move on and show you guys why a grouper is such a prized fish. Whew. Look at that. Beautiful, white. That's gonna taste so good. All right, so we made it to Kiki's Sandbar here, which is so cool because it's right here on the water. Got some live music playing there in the background, and we're doing cook or catch. Got the grouper on the table here. And what's pretty cool is you can come here by boat, but we just put the boat up back on the trailer as you guys saw. But should be a pretty awesome dinner, awesome spot. I gotta tell you, it makes me just want to stay down here in the lower Keys.
I know, seriously. So right now we're in Big Pine Key. A lot of people always ask me like, what's a good spot to check out when you're in the lower Keys? So Big Pine Key, come check out Kiki's Sandbar.
There you have it, right there. Fresh grouper from Big Pine Key at Kiki's Sandbar.
Yep.
In Big Pine Key.
But most importantly, guys, we just want to thank you guys for joining in on this video.
Joining in on the action.
Yeah, yeah. And
it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
we'll
till
see you
next
guys
week. See you guys in.